Anthrax by Alejandra and Ian. Anthrax is a serious disease caused by the bacteria Bacillus anthracis, which can be introduced to the body in 3 different ways: inhalation, dermally, or ingested. It targets the lymph nodes first and then the lungs, livers, and kidneys. In an effort to prevent attack, the bacteria first destroys macrophages within the lymph nodes completely and continues through the bloodstream towards the lungs. It works by producing a toxin that has 3 interdependent proteins that work to target communication within the body between the brain and independent cells. Each of these 3 proteins combine to form a certain toxin: edema factor EF, which forms the edema toxin; LF, lethal factor, which forms the lethal toxin; and protective antigen PA, which carries EF and LF into the cell. The bacteria then finds a suitable cell containing either tumor endothelial marker A TMA or capillary morphogenesis gene CMG2. The tumor secreted by the cell sends PAs to hijack the cellular pathways by binding to either receptor. Then the PAs are cleaved to assemble into oligomers, which surround the lipid vesicles and enter the cell through endocytosis. The PAs will form into a pore-like channel which will work as a translocational space for EF and LF to directly enter the cytoplasm, or intraluminal vesicles to be spread through exosomes into the immune system. Normally, the cell receives zinc ions as a message to be passed between cells, with messages such as the destruction of certain substances or the function of individual cells to work to maintain the body. CMG2 has a function of extracellular moderation of epithelial connections, while TEM8 has a direct link to genetic mutations and tissue or cellular expression. Both work to regulate cell splicing that would be significant in cancerous situations. After the cell receives the zinc ion signals to tell the cell to function, cyclic AMP is passed through a signal transduction pathway and is turned into ATP, which is cellular energy, and MEKs release the zinc ions back to the brain with the messages that they sent. This energy then gets sent to the rest of the body for it to use and restart the cycle of ATP and cyclic energy. The anthrax-infested pathway, once the PAs have hijacked the receptor protein and created a channel along the cell surface for EF and LF to enter the cell, they begin to multiply and attract extra PA. The lethal toxin works with the cell to attack the MEK proteins, while the edema toxin works with the cell to stop making ATP and instead keep cyclic AMP, which can't be used. To treat anthrax, scientists have been able to kill the bacteria using antibiotics such as ciprofloxacin, which is known to work with 1 or more resistant bacterial strains. Unfortunately, treatment must be administered within 6 to 12 hours after exposure to be able to reverse the effects of the toxin. After that time frame, the bacteria can be killed, but the toxin will leave permanent effects and cannot be destroyed by medical means.